right now will be Sheriff Jerry Demings from the Orange County Sheriff's Office, followed by Executive Director Nick Wiley from the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission. Sheriff Demings.
Okay. We're here this afternoon to give you an update on where we are with this recovery effort. We'll share with you that we just met with the family, spent some time with them, and delivered this update. At about 1:45 today, members of the Orange County Sheriff's Office dive team located what is believed to be the remains of the deceased 2-year-old, and I'll identify him in just a few moments. At about 3:30 today, we recovered the remains of the 2-year-old from the water, and that body has now been turned over to the Orange County Medical Examiner's Office for an autopsy. The family, I'm going to go ahead and identify. The parents are Matt and Melissa Graves from Elkhorn, Nebraska. The 2-year-old is Lane Graves. I will share with you that the child was found, his body was completely intact. And so at this time, we will go through the formality of making a formal identification. But there's no reason for us to believe that the body that was recovered is not that of Lane Graves. The effort to continue with the wildlife management here at Disney will go forward. I'm going to turn it over at this time to the Executive Director for FWC, who will share with you more details about their efforts. Director.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Sheriff Demings. Well, first, again, we just want to say that our thoughts and prayers are with this family on behalf of our entire agency, and we are terribly heartbroken at this outcome. I want to thank Sheriff Demings and the Orange County Sheriff's Department throughout this entire tragedy. They've been great to work with, and they're a true benefit to this community. I'd also like to thank Disney. They've been totally cooperative as we work through this in how we handle this tragedy. So although we have some sort of closure to this, our investigation is still ongoing, and we're going to continue to evaluate the evidence we have, and we're going to try to continue searching. We're going to make certain that we have the alligator that was involved and that we remove it from the lake. So we're going to either verify that we've already captured that alligator through forensics work, or we're going to continue to look for an alligator till we find the right one. We'll also continue to work with Disney as they work to continue to address alligators in their park and continue that strong partnership. And with that concludes my remarks. Thank you.
The family has asked that we do deliver a message to you, and the message is that they do appreciate all of the prayers that have gone forward to allow those of us who are working on the professional side to do our jobs to recover their son so that they can move forward at this time with a proper burial. And so on behalf of that family, I deliver that message to you. I will tell you that it was a tough message to deliver to them, to let them know that at this point their child is dead. So at this time we will entertain a few questions.
How important is it to find that alligator? How important is it to find that alligator? Do you fear it could do it again or something?
Again, there were several alligators located, and I'm going to let the FWC director kind of speak to you about the process that they use to try to confirm whether or not one of the alligators that have been located is the right one or not.
Just really quickly, we're going to look at the 5 alligators we've already taken, and we're going to compare things like bite marks and such as that. We don't know really what we have yet. It's still early in that part of the investigation. There's a good chance we already have the alligator because we focused our efforts in that proximity, in that area where this incident occurred. And so there's a good chance but we're going to go through the process and forensics and make certain. And if we can't get a certain match, we're going to continue to go out and look for alligators and make sure we have done everything we can and all the due diligence to make sure we've taken that alligator out. And it is important to do that.
Where did you find the alligator? Oh, I'm sorry, the remains.
Sheriff?
I believe the question is, where did we find the child? He was within the immediate area where he was last seen.
Sure.
It took some time to go through and make certain the water is kind of murky, but our divers were able to locate the body. We used sonar equipment and other means to go in and recover.
How deep and
You
how
said
far
the body
ashore?
was found intact, Sheriff. Is it your belief that the child drowned, that the child was dragged into the water and drowned?
There's, I believe, of course, the autopsy has to confirm that, but there's likely no question in my mind that the child was drowned by the alligator.
Do you think the signage was sufficient to warn people of alligators in the water? Was the signage sufficient to warn people not from this area that there were alligators?
There's signage in the area that says no swimming.
Anything about alligators on the sign?
Disney will look at all of their protocols and their signage, I'm sure, going forward.
Are
Do you
there any
recommend they add
alligators?
those signs warning about gators, Sheriff Demings? Do you recommend they add those signs saying there could be gators in these waters?
This is a partnership, I will tell you, and our ultimate concern is about the safety of the guests here at Disney as well as the public. And as the investigation continues, we will continue our death investigation with the Orange County Sheriff's Office. And I'm certain there will be opportunities in the future to look at what has occurred here and see if it can be prevented in the future.
How will they be able to tell?
We will get to the Spanish media.
Sheriff, how do you
in just a
deliver
moment.
have the right gator though? What process do they go through to try to figure that out?
I think the director just kind of explained that process to you about what they will do to ensure that they have the right gator.
How
Sheriff,
far
did you-
ashore?
Sheriff,
More
did you
detail
deliver?
about what the family was doing along the shore? Were they in the water? There was a playpen near the water. What exactly were they doing?
The family, they were vacationing. There was a playpen, there's a regular pool that is nearby, and they were sitting outside that area. It's a beach-like area, and they were sitting there enjoying the evening, and they have a 4-year-old child. There was a playpen nearby, but this 2-year-old was just along the edge of the bank playing in the water when this occurred.
Sheriff,
Do you
the family's
believe that
been
the
waiting
signage is
for about 15
inefficient,
hours
Sheriff?
for the search. Did you deliver the message yourself to the family? And if so, what was their immediate reaction to hearing this news?
I delivered the message along with a priest, a Catholic priest, and of course the family was distraught, but also I believe somewhat relieved that we were able to find their son with his body intact, one, and two, that he was located so that they can come to grips with what has happened in this situation.
How far out? How deep water?
You have seen the signs. It says no swimming. The child wasn't swimming. It was wading. And yet there's nothing to suggest there was a danger in that. And there is a beach area. Do you think that the way the beach and the signage is there is wrong?
Well, I'm not going to comment on that at this time. Again, Disney will look at all of those particular issues. That's within Disney's purview at this point.
Nick, can you talk about anything that you all will be doing on the state level with FWC to maybe review some of the policies or regulations surrounding, gators being this close to areas where children are? So many visitors come here and they don't know that our waters, carry alligators like this. I mean, can you guys talk about that?
Well, anytime there's a tragedy like this, we definitely will work with everyone involved to try to determine if there's something we can learn, if we can do something better to make sure this never happens again. And we'll certainly be doing that. But that's an ongoing process we'll have to take some time to work through.
Could that include changing regulations?
It could include anything right now. I wouldn't discount any measures we might want to take or change. But I'd say we will take a careful look and really try to learn from whatever happened here.
Have you guys ever, what has Disney done?
We've not got any reports that I'm aware of feeding gators. No, sir.
When is the last time you received a complaint about nuisance gators here at Disney? Anywhere on the property?
We have, as we've already stated earlier, Disney has a very proactive program for identifying and removing alligators that are losing their fear of people or otherwise might be a risk. And they remove numbers of alligators routinely, and we have essentially an open partnership with them where they can just call a trapper, and even some of their own staff are allowed to take out alligators when they see one that is a problem.
With all due respect, though, you're not answering the question. The question is,
I don't have the numbers for you right now. We don't get complaints because it's an open process. They take the action directly.
When was the last time
Sheriff,
you
how
removed a
far
gator?
from shore and how deep water was the body found?
I'm just going to estimate it was, I don't know, 10 to 15 yards out, and not quite sure how deep. Maybe what I was told was approximately 6 feet deep in the water. But
You would have removed
we will take measurements and all of that, and so that will come out as part of the investigation.
Nick, you would have removed the last
in
gator.
the water? Were there other people in the water in addition to this child? And was what this child was doing permissible in your view? Was he doing anything that he shouldn't have been doing?
There were no other people in the water at the time, and I believe what this 2-year-old was doing was what perhaps any 2-year-old might be doing as well. Well, thank you all. We've shared the bit of information that we can share at this
When was the
time.
last time you removed a gator from this series?